Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show today, episode 211. It's Friday, August 23rd. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, Tim. Tim's there.
Hi, guys. How's it going? Tim here.
So, good morning. Early show today. We're talking Note 10, Note 10 Plus. We both finally have them in-house, in hand, have been using them for a little bit of time. And, lots to share there after, Well, today's Note 10 launch day. Like, you walk into a store and buy them if you want to. So we'll talk Note 10. Lots of stuff to share. But Android Q, huge news in the Android, I should say just in the general Android realm. We have new branding. Desserts are on. Oh, there's a light right there. Desserts on the way out. So, some emotions there around the Android dessert naming thing that's going away. OnePlus TV news. There's a Nest Mini rumor, and also you can now migrate Nest over to Google. I'll just talk briefly about that since I've done that. We'll talk where that kind of changes things. Hangouts, our favorite app of all time. Google Hangouts has an extension on life a little bit. And we may get into blue-green bubble ranting a little bit later on to wrap up topics. And then, of course, trivia is back, as it always is every week. If you're new around here, we do trivia at the end of every DL show. And we give you prizes. All you have to do is hang around till the end, participate in our 5-question trivia, and 5 people will run away with prizes. Today, we're giving away OnePlus prizes, and we're kind of letting you choose. Backpack, maybe. Earbuds, the new Bullets Wireless 2, maybe. Kind of up to you. So 5 of you will win sort of a OnePlus prize of your choice.
Wow.
Not bad, right?
That's not bad. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you own a OnePlus phone, this is the show to win.
This is apparently your show. All right, so let's dive in here. Galaxy Note 10. Galaxy Note 10 is here. And, so here I have a 10. Ooh, look, a couple fingerprints. Not too bad.
That's not that bad compared to mine.
Getting a little greasy. At least on the black, I'm screwed, and you'll always be able to see them. You have a 10 Plus with the cool back. Does it hide them a little bit better than that?
Maybe just because of how reflective it is.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, it's very visible in person.
Oh, gotcha. But like, you can see them all over mine. Yours,
oh, yeah.
You couldn't really see them. So I have a Note 10 regular one. Tim has the 10 Plus. And you could buy these today. $949 for this guy. $1049. Did I say $949? Yeah, $949 for this. $1099 for that. Right, starting prices. They go up from there if you want to. We've talked about like specs and all that stuff. I don't really want to go over that. Samsung's still doing that $600 trade-in deal where you can trade in any number of phones, get $600 off. They had a pre-order bonus where they'd give you up to $150 off, or $150 credit towards accessories and things like that. That's now gone. Yesterday was your last day for that, but they've replaced it with like 4 months free of YouTube Premium, I believe. Plus, they still have the Spotify offer. So there's still deals if you didn't get in an early pre-order. Let's see. I mean, you have the important one. You have the 10 Plus, which I'm assuming is the one people will buy because it's the one that doesn't have a 1080p display and no SD card slot and no super fast charging and like what? And this doesn't have the TOF sensor. I mean, like this is the one without all the stuff. So you've had that now for a couple days. Do you have any first impressions you'd like to share with the world?
Yeah, first impressions. Really nice phone. While I muted here. The display 6.8 inch super AMOLED or dynamic AMOLED with that. I mean, there's hardly any bezel. It is an absolutely gorgeous display. DisplayMate was right. A+. The backside, of course, gorgeous. I've only opened the camera app once, so I'm still getting there, so I can't really talk about cameras. But overall, size coming from the OnePlus 7 Pro, actually not that much bigger in hand. The phone, as Samsung would say, is incredibly thin. So it's actually not too hard to use. I mean, it's curved out of your mind. Yeah. I mean, the display goes well over that edge. So usability, for considering how big it is, not that bad at all. The hardware is nice. S Pen is there. The speakers get really loud. So far, I'm really enjoying myself. One UI is still pretty darn good on top of Pi. I really like it, and plus I really like the backside because it's so shiny and cool. Just a 2-day impression. It's a really good phone.
Yeah, I would say so. I've had the Note 10 even less, but this thing, I mean, size wise, like we talked a little bit last week about size and how stupid phone sizes are. Like that thing is almost 7 inch. It's almost a tablet, except in hand because there's zero bezel on this phone. I shouldn't say zero, but almost zero. That the phone sizes actually aren't that bad. Like this regular Note 10 feels. I don't really have much to compare it to. Here's so this is a Pixel 3a. This is the 3a, the small one. Like they're not that much different.
That's not
in
much
size. They're almost the same exact height, except the display is obviously bigger and better and all of that stuff in this one. Yeah, I actually really like it so far. I didn't think that I wasn't going to like when I got in hand. I know I showed some disinterest in the Note 10 line last week, and people got a little bit mad at that. It's not that that I wasn't gonna like it. Now that I have in hand, I kind of like it even more. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The shape of it, the Essential phone, because it's so squared off on the top and the bottom. I know it has the extra curves and stuff, but it has that like rock solid, I'm a squared off, unapologetic rectangle thing that Essential did that I liked in the way that felt in hand. So it kind of has that vibe for it to me. And maybe that's just because it's just flat everywhere and everything else on this planet is round. So I like it so far. The S Pen I pulled out twice. And I always like try to convince myself, right, that I'm going to use it. I pulled that out twice, but like performance seems really nice. Like Samsung has dialed that in the last couple of years. The only thing that I really don't like right now is the fingerprint sensor. It sucks like all in-display fingerprint sensors do.
Interesting.
Like you have to put your finger on, like there, it missed a match. Like I'm unlocking it as I'm talking. Like it never does it either the first time or have to hold it long enough that it seems like it takes too long. Whereas on all of my Pixel phones with that back one, I just barely tap my finger on there and it works. So the fingerprint sensor, I can't stand these in-display fingerprints. They're awful. Every single phone I've used on, I don't like. And I know people disagree with me on that. And they tell me that I'm losing my mind and that theirs is super fast. I don't believe anyone that says that. I've used a couple different Samsungs, a couple different OnePluses. They all suck. So yeah, I'm not a fan of those. Other than that, the removal of the Bixby button, or I should say the swapping of the left Bixby button as a power button now, I actually like that because the phone's so big, I tend to hold it in my left hand and use right hand to swipey dipe around. And so the power button is right there. I don't really love the left situated volume, but it is what it is. So they did some nice things to it. I think it's actually a really nice phone. This one, we talked about some of the downside, the corners they cut, I guess. Like the 1080p display, I don't really care. Like 1080p is fine with me. There's no headphone jack in either phone.
Boo-hoo.
I know.
Nerds.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I wish phones had them so that we didn't have to complain about it. But it comes with USB-C buds in the box, so you do get earbuds with it. What else? There was something else I was going to mention. I have no idea what battery life's like, so I can't respond there to anyone asking. It seems really nice. Oh, no SD card slot in this one. So when I pulled out of the box, I forgot that and whipped out SD card slot, was ready to slap it in and add storage on top of the 256 for some reason, which there's no way I will ever come close to filling it up, but just to do it. And pulled the SIM tray out, and sure enough, no SD card slot. Forgot. So that's stupid. I don't know. I'm pretty impressed. I think I'm going to use this phone for quite a while, probably until the Pixel 4 comes out is my guess, just because it's nice and new and the display looks crazy. I mean, it just looks crazy. There's no bezel. I mean, there's a little bit right there.
It looks crazy. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself so far. I haven't been like, oh crap, here we go again. No, I've actually really been enjoying my Note 10 experience so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of Note phones off and on over the years, and every once in a while I get bored by the line and don't really care. And I thought this was going to be the year, but now that I have this one in hand, I'm like, it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. I'll probably play with the S Pen and all that stuff at some point. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. It's a very nice phone. Do I think you should spend $1,000 on it? No. No, just do a trade-in deal. Like, get deals on these things. I don't think anyone should pay $1,000 for a damn phone.
I guess I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. We're at this point in like tech pricing where everyone has to constantly run deals because they've overpriced all this stuff so much that
Right.
you should just never pay full price for anything, I feel like, at this point. And there's probably people that will tell me that it's been that way in life forever, which, you know, I get that. But like I wrote up a Fossil smartwatch deal today, and you know, like every single one of their smartwatches outside of the new Gen 5 are slashed by 75, almost $100. And it's just like, don't buy the Gen 5 at full price. Like, just wait like 3 months and that thing will probably drop like $75 for like a weekend. So the same thing with this. Like, yeah, it's out today, it's $1,000, but there's always a deal running on this. Like, when was the last time there was a smartphone that people want that wasn't on
You
some
had to
sort
pay
of
price more.
yeah, like, it just, you
Yeah.
should never do that. Like go buy a cheap phone off a Swappa and trade it in for this or something. You'll probably make like $100. So
Yeah. Real quick for anyone who might ask, my first day of battery testing yesterday, I had the Quad HD on, etc. I used the phone quite a bit. I was at 5 hours, 20 minutes of screen on time.
heavy.
15 and a half hours of usage, and I was down to like 30 some odd percent.
That's pretty solid.
I was like kind of surprised because during midday I was like, oh, okay, my battery's kind of dipping. But then once I got like around the 50% mark and I was still using it, it really didn't dip too much further. So very impressive.
I mean, I'd take that. Go to bed 30% after using it that heavily.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
You're just going to charge it anyway. So
Yeah, you're just going to throw a charger on there. Nothing, no phone really lasts 2 days.
nah,
I know people say phones do, but I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe it. Weird bug. Like, I plugged I was complaining to you about this on over Hangouts yesterday, but charging on this regular Note 10, I know it doesn't do the 45 watt charging that the Note 10 Plus does, but it still does 25 watt charging with the included charger, I believe. And, just not very fast. When I first plugged it in, it just said charging, and I was at 50%. And it said it was going to take like an hour and 15 minutes to fill up that extra 50%, which is terrible. Replugged, and it switched over to fast charging, but it still said like in 50 minutes, we're going to top off that last 50%. That just seems really slow. I feel like, well, I know OnePlus has some of the best charging, but I feel like you can charge an entire OnePlus phone in like 50 minutes. I don't know why this Note 10 takes 50 minutes to do 50%, and it's a smaller battery than what's in the OnePlus 7 Pro. So
Yeah.
kind of weird. I don't know the issue there. I'm not going to try to speculate on that, but that was kind of annoying. So, you know, one of the things I dislike about Samsung phones is I feel like when I boot them up the first time, you know, you did your first 10 things video. We do these first 10 things videos because every time you set one up, like
It takes 2 hours.
Yeah, because you constantly have to like turn this off that you don't like turn off the stupid active edge or whatever, the edge swipe out thing. And like, I feel like I just go through and just turn things off because Samsung just has so much crap on here that I don't use. So like sorting the app drawer is one of those things like I feel like should be the default, like sorting it alphabetically. And Samsung's like, no, we're just going to put all of your apps at the end of the app drawer in no sort of order. And like you have to delete folder, assuming you use their stock launcher. It's like I seriously spend an hour not just getting my stuff installed, but like turning off all of the crap I don't like that Samsung does. That drives me a little nuts. But then once you get that going, you're kind of good.
Once you get it set up and it takes a long time, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Then you're good. And I'm excited to use the camera. Like especially that live focus in the video thing. I just kind of want to play with that to see that actually in action. Like that's one of those things they added to it that kind of seems cool. And I believe they added that in the front cameras as well. So I don't know, lots of stuff here. And Sarah mentioned step 1, install Nova. I actually did already. I cheated already.
Oh, not cool, bro.
Yeah, I know. I did already.
I like
cheat.
Samsung's
I
launcher.
absolutely despise it. It is my lead because it's paginated sideways, horizontal. Like if I want to get an app and it's at the bottom of my app drawer or the back in that case, it takes like 15 swipes to get over there. And that drives me insane. I just want to do one swipe up and get to the bottom of my app drawer. Like the fact that Samsung hasn't changed that, it drives me nuts. So, yeah, I cheated already.
Real quick, before the show, I spilled my mug of water, and now I'm dying of thirst. I'm just gonna run and get some water real quick. If you could maybe go over the specs or something for the Galaxy Note 10, I'll just be right back.
Tim is absolutely dying on it.
I need
You can't turn your camera off, by the way.
I can't?
No, it'll block me out too.
Oh, well, let's block you. I'm just kidding. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Let's talk by myself. Are you really gone? Oh, now you're muted, so we can't even hear you.
Check 1, 2.
Oh, there.
All right.
Back.
I was going to say I'll at least mute myself so you don't hear me running up and down the stairs.
So yeah, Note 10. Well, Tim will have a review of the Note 10 Plus probably long before I'll review this thing, and this will probably be more of like a shorter review. Here, watch. I can do this fancy thing where I switch over, and now it's just me, and there's little Tim. Hi. Yeah, we'll have a review of probably next week, I would guess, of the Note 10 Plus. And yeah, I'd imagine we're probably going to say pretty nice things like we have about every Samsung phones. The Samsung truck has not backed up to the house for a while, but you know, Samsung's making good phones. Do you have any questions that you want me to like address, even though I've only had the phone for like a day? I do have the black one, which is sort of disappointing, but since Samsung doesn't send us review units, in order to get one at a decent time, I kind of had to default to black, whereas Tim has the fancy one. Can we get Billy Zane? I forgot Billy Zane was still a thing. Has anyone ever seen, we're going really random now. Has everyone ever seen, what was the, it was like the show that HBO used to have with the Crypt Keeper, Tales from the Crypt. Did anyone watch the one with Billy Zane where he was in it? Classic movie, by the way. Alex just asked me, how's the kitty? Well, I have two kitties, Batum and Rogers, both weird-ass Persian cats. They are fabulous. The one you guys mostly see, the white and brown one, that's Batum. He is a beast, and he just turned 10, which is kind of crazy. Oh, look at that. Tim's back. Tim has water. Oh, my time in Montana was absolutely fabulous. I had some Kettle House. They have a new shady, hazy IPA that was actually really good. Tried to find their pale ale called Bong Water, and it apparently doesn't exist in cans in the area that I was, which really made me mad because it's one of my favorite beers.
It's called Bong Water?
It's called Bong Water.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's one of those beers they created a really long time ago, back when they were like a tiny little brewery, and that was like the beer that put them on the map because it's called Bong Water. Everyone thought it was funny, and yeah, it's popular. It's good. It's like a lighter pale. It's actually really good. You probably wouldn't hate it. You might. Yeah. I don't know.
Don't spill the Bong Water. Oh man.
Do not spill Bong Water. Yeah.
It's the nastiest.
We talked about a lot while you were gone. Billy Zane and Tales from the Crypt and the cats, my cats. And then you joined us back for Bong Water.
Nice. Glad I didn't miss that.
Anyway, so wrapping up Note 10 stuff. Yeah, I told him you'd probably have a review possibly next week. And then my Note 10 review will follow up probably after that. And it's probably not going to be surprising that we'll probably like them.
Yeah, someone asked, I don't know if you mentioned 90 hertz. I saw someone before I left mention 90 hertz. So far, I haven't really noticed a difference. And that was sort of what my thoughts were going into the phone. I was like, 60 hertz versus 90 hertz. I don't know if I'm going to notice much of a difference. And really, I don't think I have, coming from the 7 Pro. Again, but whenever I fire up or I look at the Razer Phone 2, which is somewhere around here, it is noticeable, 60 versus 120. But 90,
yeah,
I don't know.
Some of the scrolling here and there might look smoother, obviously, on the OnePlus, but it's probably not.
Bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's all too noticeable.
Yeah, and I've been using like Pixel 3As and crap, which have terrible screen. Not terrible, but they're not like the best. In my regular Pixel 3, and then compared to this thing looks amazing compared to that thing. I mean, the Pixel 3's display is fine, but this thing, Samsung, we just know, according to DisplayMate.
Yeah, I mean,
is DisplayMate the new DxO, Mark? Like, do we just kind of look at them and go, we don't really care, dude?
Well, I mean, what I don't like about DisplayMate is that literally it's just 10,000 words, detailing a bunch of stuff I don't really understand. So,
I mean, the guy's made a good. He's made a good. I guess I should say he's picked out a good little area that no one else is really in to.
That itch.
Yeah, and it's fine. The weird thing is, like, it's clear that Samsung sends him these phones early and things like that. And so he tests that. It's just like the DxO Mark stuff, right? Like, they get this stuff early and everyone's like, oh, did you guys just consult with them to make a great camera app and score? And you kind of, I don't want to say I feel like that with DisplayMate, but for a long time, like, he wasn't even looking at other people's displays. It was like, he would compare Samsung and iPhone because they were the best. And I don't know, it didn't seem like he was really rating anyone else's. Or at least they just all sucked and maybe we didn't notice. But it just, it feels a little weird that DisplayMate and DxO Mark like time their things at the launch of Samsung to be like, these are the best. I don't
know. Just for anyone asking about my dope mug, I'm pretty sure I want to say this is an original Primo pottery mug. Down in Humboldt County, we had a potter named Primo. And the dude's work was like incredible. Everyone for holidays would get a Primo mug.
Love that.
But now I think he's down in Texas. But either way, his mugs are legit. It's got little built-in thumb holders.
I love the thumb holder, yeah.
Yeah, it's just great. Great stuff. And his work's exceptional.
And his name's Primo, which is badass.
Kinda is badass.
All right, so Android Q, Android 10, Android rebrand time. Let's talk about it. People seem to really care about this. Okay, so yesterday morning, Google announced that Android is getting somewhat of a rebrand. Not massive by any means, depending on who you ask, but the Android logo has matured. We got a slightly tweaked font with some roundish edges. And then our friend Bug Droid, which Google refers to as the Android robot, which is, come on now. That's not his name. His name is not the Android robot. He has now had his whole body lopped off, and now just the top of his head sits at the end or on top of this new Android font, and that is the official new logo. We got some new colors. They changed the green of the robot up a little bit now. It's I actually don't know how to describe it, but it's not such a yellowish green. It's now more of a bluish green, maybe it's like softer or something. Everything's kind of got a darker feel, but there's a whole new color palette that we've rolled out now for Android. So it's not just white and green now. There's like black and green. Like the Android word now is in either white or black. And then there's like a blue, and I think there's even like a pinkish color or an orange and like an off-white. Like there's a whole new color palette for Android. It's not just green anymore, which is fun. We're maturing or something there. So besides the logo refresh, the big news is actually that we're done with dessert names. So no more. Well, so Q is just Q, and well, it's Android 10, which we talked about on last week's show. Someone might have said,
I think it was me
that
just throwing that.
that would not be surprised if they don't actually go with the dessert and just go with 10 because it's just cleaner, makes more sense, all that stuff. Yeah, they did. Yeah, the Android logo is actually green like this shirt. That is actually. Let me look again.
Yeah,
It is actually similar to that color.
Do we have? Yeah, I mean, we got the hex codes and all that stuff or whatever. I'm sure they posted up some design blog with standards.
They seriously put together a whole like 3 or 4 minute video that talks about how it's not just a logo change, Tim. They're telling a new story.
Shut up.
Yeah, the design design people are just a weird type of people that I will never fully understand because it's not like your brain's just wired a certain way, and
that's just design people in general. Bless their hearts, but like they don't think like non-design people.
Yeah, I mean, I just go, cool, you got a new color palette and you tweaked the font, like that's great. They're like, no, that is not what we did. This is an evolution of the Android store, and you just go, whoa, okay.
Had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea. Anyway, so no more desserts. So Android Q is just Android Q. And then once it launches, it'll be Android 10. So when it's on your phone someday, unless you own a Pixel or Essential or OnePlus phone, you'll have Android 10. You won't have Android Quesito or whatever we thought it might be, right? It's just Android 10. So that's fine. And then next year, instead of Android R and Android Raspberry, or wait, what's a good R dessert? Have we talked about R dessert names? I'm trying to think.
We haven't talked about names, but
R won't apparently have an actual candy or treat or dessert name. It will just be Android 11, which is fine. I've had some people argue that it takes the fun out of Android. We're just getting boring now, and Google just doesn't care. They're no longer fun. They're serious, Google. What they did say, though, they made a couple of good points. The dessert thing versus the numbering thing, it was confusing to people across the globe who might not understand which version of Android they have. When you just throw it down as a number, you just say 10, then maybe people understand it. Like, it kind of makes sense, whereas we were like, Android Pie and Marshmallow, and everyone's like, well, what the hell's that? My phone says Android 8. So, I get that a little bit. As far as the branding goes, I didn't mention this, but the green, obviously not great for people who are colorblind or can't see greens and reds properly or whatever, right? I don't know which way that works. I should have better knowledge of that. I apologize. But so the green was tough to see for some people, which I get. So that's why they've tweaked some of the coloring there. And yeah, the naming thing, what was it like? Is it L's and R's? Some languages they don't say L's and R's, something like that. So like when you had lollipop, that didn't really work for some people. They had a whole bunch of reasons there. And they seem to make sense. So Android 10 to the point there.
That's extremely inclusive of them. And, being a super progressive liberal from California originally, I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. At the same time, part of me is like, part of Android's soul is dying. I mean, it was really like what was so cute about it. Even my girlfriend, who's not interested in Android mythology at all, was always curious about like what the new dessert was going to be. So it's kind of a bummer that we're not going to get to, go out to 7-Eleven and buy Android Kit Kat bars anymore, or, buy little
Oreos.
Sweet little figurines. Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of the fun aspect of Android, I think, is now dying and dead. And as someone who's been around since the OG days, I mean, that kind of sucks, but I get it. I totally get it. I'm just sad about it.
Yeah, it takes away a thing that, like, for those of us who care about this stuff, that we followed, we guessed. Like, next year we don't get to go, what do you think Android R is going to be called? We don't get to do that, which kind of, takes some of the fun out of it. We don't get to hunt for Easter eggs. Somebody mentioned, will there be an Easter egg? So Essential, yeah, they outed this. They outed the Easter egg, which just said Android 10 and sort of the queue. And that's kind of what led us last week to talking about why I didn't think that it was going to have any name. It was just going to be 10. So yeah, like those Easter eggs now, like they're not quite as fun. At least like the pie one was kind of the worst. It was that really neon, vibrant, crazy thing, but they didn't do anything with it. It was just like a pea. Like they didn't throw some pie in there, do something fun. So, they've kind of been going a little bit away from it, but yeah, it takes away some of the fun. And now it's just Android 10.
I guess that's cool. Speaking of 10, Eric Ortiz just dropped a $10 donation in the chat. Eric Ortiz, prepaying for his prize shipping, I assume. I don't know what that is, but thank you very much, Eric. It's very nice.
That's very nice. Thank you, Eric. Sarah mentions it had a built-in paint app. Yeah, Pi did have a built-in paint app, and the Android 10 has some sort of weird thing built into once you get past the front. I'm just saying, like there wasn't like a cool animation or something. Remember that one time we had like Flappy Bird built in? That was kind of fun.
Did they was it just me, or did that paint app totally suck in Pi though?
I used it once or twice. I don't even know.
Like it wasn't fun. Like, because if you got a Galaxy, you could just do that with the S Pen.
Seriously.
And there's like a way more detailed kind of paint app. I don't know. That's just me. But
well, what's so weird about that too is I'm sure people would have loved to just be able to access the Android Paint app, even if it was basic and sucked. Like, that's one of those things people just might use to doodle, but the only way to get there, like Google buried it. You had to know. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, they spent time building this Paint app, but
sure. And as Sarah says, there was no way to save anything. Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought you could. I thought you could share save. No?
I don't think so. I mean, I could look right now because
for some reason I thought you could share your creations there. If not, then yeah, that's very stupid. Google's weird, man. Google's weird.
It's time to get mad.
So yeah, desserts are gone. Did you have a favorite dessert name? Like if you think back and go, not necessarily Android build, but maybe something about a version. Is there one that you go, oh yeah, that was the best?
Well, I would think Kit Kat, just because
The special bars.
yeah, the special bars. It was like, it kind of took us all by surprise because we were like, oh my god, they can actually get together with a brand, and it really opened up the possibilities of what the names could be. So I'm gonna have to go with Kit Kat as my favorite. However, Honeycomb, with its dark Tron-like aesthetic, made everything look like it was just super Neo Matrix-like. It was just cool. I really dug Honeycomb, even though it was terrible.
It was like the worst version of Android.
Yeah, it was only around for 3 months, but it was cool.
Yeah, that's a cool logo. I like the ice cream sandwich one. The ice cream sandwich one comes to mind because they did a really good job with the logo. Like it was like ice cream sandwich, like with half a wrapper on it.
It was good.
And then I also will never forget ice cream sandwich because as someone who writes constantly throughout the day, typing out ice cream sandwich was the most painful thing ever. Like you often shortened it to ICS, but you got to type out that whole 3-letter name. So that was awful. So I'll never forget ice cream sandwich because of that. I like the logo, but also because the name was so stupidly long that it drove me insane. Nougat is definitely the one I will never remember. When I was putting together the list of all of the icons, I could not remember what N was. Like I actually had to Google what Android N stood for, and then it popped up as Nougat, and I was like, oh yeah, Nougat, the like forgotten version of Android that everyone thought was probably the worst of names. I mean, I don't remember what the N options were, but Nougat was for sure the one where you went Nougat. And they did some like party in like a French town that created Nougat or something. It's very weird. So yeah, Nougat. I saw somebody argue yesterday that Pi was the beginning of the end because it was just so basic that Google was just giving up and going with Pi. And I was like, what do you mean they're giving up? They did Lollipop one year, which is kind of like giving up. They did Gingerbread. Like Donut is the most basic of names they could have got. Like I don't think Pi was like a sign that this was the end. No, they went with a simple dessert. Like Cupcake and Donut are also simple ass desserts. So I don't know. Like I've seen people argue that they just need to fall in line with what iOS does. Like just shut up. Not everything Google does has to do with freaking iOS. I hate that. Anyway.
Do me a favor.
Yeah. What can I do?
Pull up the software information on your Note 10.
Am I on a Note 10? Okay.
And then go to Android version. Like it just doesn't work in this.
Oh, they took it away.
I guess so. What you can do though, could you always pinch it?
I didn't actually know that.
Nah. Although you can't tap and you can't long press.
No, you're right. It's dead on this.
Throw it out.
That is too bad. All right. Well, that sucks. Yeah. So no more desserts. Everyone should be.
I had no idea you could pinch. I know I'm the only person who didn't know in the world.
I did not know. I did not know you could pinch. I honestly did not know that.
I've never seen anyone pinch it.
No, everyone just taps it. We always just tapped. Yeah. Always just tapped, and then we held, and then it bypassed that to get to whatever. That's really funny. Everyone's now like, you guys are fools. We are.
You guys are idiots.
I had no idea that either. You learn something new on air every time.
You guys talk about Android for a living? Oh, Jesus. That's funny.
All right, so Android 10 stable will probably roll out any day. I would put a little bit of money on next Wednesday. I don't know what day that is, 27th or 8th or something, or it could be right around September. So this week, Google posted the Android Q security bulletin. Like a hair on my face. The Android Q security bulletin, where they detailed all the security stuff that they're patching in Android Q, and it's basically dated for September 5th, right around there, which is kind of how their monthly builds go. So we could see it right around then. Often they've released the stable build of whatever the new version is at the end of August, and then they almost have to patch it right away. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to time it for launch right at the beginning of September, so they don't have to like repatch right away, or we'll see. Justin says Monday the 26th. Could be. I'm sure it's already under embargo, whoever is under Google's Android embargo list, but have not heard Monday. I think they keep saying in the next few weeks is what Google keeps saying. So my guess is either next Wednesday or it would be the first. So Google releases security patches on the first Monday of every month. So it could be timed for that, which would be, well, no, there isn't a Monday. The 2nd is a holiday, so they won't do that. I don't think they'll do Tuesday the 3rd then. So Monday the 9th? That seems late, doesn't it? Monday the 9th?
I guess.
So I think they either do it next Wednesday, is my guess, or they switch. They're going to have to wait until the 9th, which seems really late. I don't know.
It better not be Monday. You're gone.
Well, yeah, but that's Labor Day. That's what I'm saying. Like, Google people aren't going to release anything on Labor Day.
Dude, I don't think Google gives holidays.
I think Google takes probably more holidays than anyone. They probably just make up holidays. I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's kind of a big mystery.
I like mysteries.
I like mysteries too. Just like I liked mystery dessert names, which no longer exist. OnePlus TV talk briefly. I'm having trouble like getting really excited about the OnePlus TV. I don't know if you're feeling the same way. Like TVs are just not something we buy often. They're not like, you can get a new phone every year or 6 months if you want. Buying new TVs is stupid. Like, especially if you put them on a wall, like the thought of getting them back down off of that wall and swapping, like, just is hell. So the OnePlus TV is indeed coming. We know for sure it'll be a 55-inch QLED panel, and it shows up in India first next month in September, and it'll then roll out to other countries, continents, North America being one of them. And we don't know pricing. However, Sir Pete Lau, CEO of OnePlus, did an interview with Gadgets 360 this week. Yesterday he did that, and he said a whole bunch of stuff. He kind of revealed quite a bit. He wants it to be sort of like a smart hub in your house. You can't touch it. Obviously, it's a TV, but sort of smarts in like Nest Hub Lenovo Smart Display, apparently. Apparently, he said yes when somebody asked him if he wants it to be more like that. Let's see. He said the first step, though, is we want to make a great TV because he doesn't see a lot of great TVs available. Like, what? What do you mean there's not a lot of great TVs? Like, I could
be referring to the Indian market for all we know. I don't know. Did he?
I don't know.
Because we have too many good TVs in America.
Right?
That's our problem.
I feel
glued to them.
Yeah, I feel like that is the problem, is everyone makes a good TV. So it's hard to decide which one to get because they're all... So anyway, that's exactly what he said. Quote, I don't see a lot of great TVs available in the market right now. So that's why we're making this basically just like they started with phones, because all the phones suck. So they need to make it anyway. It's very weird. QLED panel. I don't know anything about TV technology. I'm going to admit that right now. I know that Samsung, I believe, does the QLED thing. So if somebody loves QLED and thinks that's amazing, feel free to tell me, because I don't know if that means great things or not. He said this will be a premium experience, though. So if you're looking for like when the OnePlus One dropped at $299, that's not going to happen. We're talking, this is not going to be a super duper cheap TV. He said, because of our strategic partnership with Amazon, who they'll sell it through in India, our price may be slightly cheaper than like Sony and Samsung, but it won't be half the price. So the OnePlus TV is not going to be stupid cheap. It's going to be a 55-inch QLED high-end TV. Let's see, what else did he say here? He confirmed it's Android TV. Not that that's like a big shocker, right? Confirmed Android TV. One of the weird things he said, though, is they're going to optimize it deeply, and they're going to run a custom improved UI on top of Android TV, which I didn't think you were allowed to do. Again, we talked about this a little bit last week. I thought Google was only allowing service providers to customize Android TV. So I don't know why OnePlus can do it, unless something's changing in Android TV that we didn't know about, that Google's going to start letting everyone customize it. Pilau says that they're going to run an improved UI on top, and then possibly there'll be some sort of tie-in with OnePlus phones, maybe like a remote app or something like that. He actually talked about a lot. Does that interest you now anymore? Super expensive, 55-inch QLED with custom Android TV that you'll get a better experience from if you have a OnePlus phone. Does that sound like you ready to swap out the TV in the old living room? 55 inch is not big enough anyway.
Yeah, I mean, 65-inch at least.
65-inch bust, that's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk my old partner into trying to get a 75, but she's like, no, it's too big. I was like, that's what she said. Yeah, it's always just a constant. That's what she said in this house. But no, not interested, because like the TV is the last thing that I want to upgrade in my house.
Yeah.
Well, after like washer, dryer, fridge, etc.
Yeah.
Just because what a pain. I finally got it mounted up onto the wall. Just a total nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
My TV, my current Vizio 65 4K is doing just fine. Yeah, I'm not in like a rush. If OnePlus wants to hook it up and send it over with the white glove install where I don't have to do anything, then that's I'll totally review it and I'll be completely unbiased. But other than that, nah, I don't see myself getting too hyped about this. As long as it's got Android TV and it's somewhat reasonably priced, QLED in terms of pricing isn't really anything too special. It's definitely not, on the cheaper side of anything, but it shouldn't be overpriced. If they're charging Sony prices, 3,000 LG, Quantum, whatever the heck they got, that whatever their new
Quantum
tech is with
dot or something, yeah.
Yeah, something super hot, with the blackest blacks, $4,000. Don't make it unattainable for your fan base, and your fan
assuming
base.
It's probably going to be like a
Android users.
$1,500 TV, $1,200 TV.
Totally.
Like in other words, he's saying we're not going to release a $700 TV that's nice. It's probably going to be like $1,200, which then puts it right around there with other QLEDs, I believe, possibly.
Yeah. Guess we'll find out. I guess I'm a little excited just because I like Android TV a lot, but I have Shield TV and I can just slap that to any TV.
Yeah.
So
yeah. The only thing I would say is I'm curious just to know what they're going to do with Android TV. If they're really customizing it, then I want to see what they're going to do, because maybe they're going to have like a really good remote. Maybe it'll have like really good microphones to pick up stuff, and maybe they'll have cool ways to display information. I just kind of doubt it.
It won't.
So if it does, cool. But
all TV remotes suck.
True.
All interactions in terms of voice and typing things into Android TV sucks. So really, I mean, like the price, a lot of money doesn't really get you like I think the greatest experience in terms of TV. I will say like LG's the WebOS based kind of UI that they got going on, their operating system, that one's not bad at all. That's right up there, I think, with Android TV. Real quick though, Larry Mitchell, he says, I have a 50-inch Hisense 4K TV and it's great. Exactly. That thing is like a $300, $400 TV and it's 4K. Like it's fine for pretty much 95% of people out there.
I have the 55-inch Hisense 4K with Android TV built in my bedroom. It's totally fine. Like the picture looks, it's probably a little too punchy at times, but there's all sorts of controls. Like it's actually a really good TV, and it's like it's probably $500 at this point because it's now like 2 years old. But
TVs are worse than smartphones in terms of how quickly the price for the technology drops off. It's insane. I mean, I can go to Fred Meyer's, and get a 65-inch curved Samsung 4K whatever for like $1,000, $1,200 tops. I just saw it the other day. I mean, I still think curved TVs are cool. 3D was never cool, but curved TVs are cool.
I don't even know if anyone's really making those anymore because they realized it was like people didn't buy them. They're like, why would I want this stupid curved TV? I have to sit like dead center always.
But there were some that were better than others.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Tech Matter, Fred Meyer's is like our grocery store, like an Albertsons, or I don't know what part of the country or world you're in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what maybe some other.
Think Safeway,
it's a big
but
grocery
local.
Store.
Yeah. Or like a smaller Walmart chain,
but not super,
that focuses on groceries,
but not super cheap like Walmart.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
All right, so yeah, TV time coming soon. We don't know when it'll launch in North America, but
I'll get one. Fine. Jeez.
Kroger, that's who owns Fred Meyer. Yeah, Kroger's
Yeah,
like the big one.
Kroger. Yeah.
Couldn't think of them. Let's see. So switching gears a little bit, there's a rumor from 9 to 5 Google that the Google Home Mini will get replaced with a Nest Mini. Remember when we saw this branding change on the Google store that said Google Nest Homes were coming? Like, remember they changed things to like Google Nest Home and Google Nest Home Mini, and Google freaked out, and they were like, they emailed Tim and I like on a Friday evening when we wrote the story one time, like a few weeks back. We're like, can you guys please change that? We are not changing it. It is not Google Nest Mini. It's not Google Nest Home. And we were like, cool.
Calm down, Google.
Yeah, it's no big deal. We'll let people know that you guys are adamant that this is not changing, even though you keep changing and saying this in emails and stuff. But so yeah, this report says there will be a Google Nest Mini. So maybe that's why they weren't changing the name yet, because the Google Nest Mini is coming and they didn't want to like have to say like this is Nest Gen 2 or something. You know what I mean? So apparently a Nest Mini is coming. It'll have improved audio. Although I just kind of doubt that it's going to have good audio. Like improving over the Mini is not saying much, right? No. But it could have a 3.5 millimeter port, which could mean a variety of things. It could mean hooking it up to a speaker to add assistance smarts to an actual speaker. It could mean input. There's a lot of things that could happen there. There could be some sort of wall mount, although that could just mean like a little cutout in the back so you could hook it on like a screw. And proximity sensors. We don't know if that means solely so you can like wave at it, or if it just means like it'll notice that you're approaching and start listening to you. Tough to say. But apparently improved Mini is coming. The Mini is one of the greatest things I think Google did, not because I'm saying it's a great product, but because entry level. And right now you can basically buy them at $29 all the time. Like $29 to get Google Assistant in your house. It was a no-brainer. Like when they did that, I'm pretty sure that's when they put them on the map of home assistant things, and like they flooded the market with that. Remember when they were just giving them away? Like you'd buy anything from Google and they're like, and here's a Home Mini.
Yeah, same thing with the Chromecast back in the day. I mean, they were just handing those out like it was nothing. And it was smart because, it got that Google and Chromecast name into everywhere. Everyone knows about Chromecast or Google Cast now.
That's right, Google Cast.
Who's in charge of all of Google's names? Like, they're making way too much for what they do.
Yes, they are.
No offense to them. I'm sure they're great people.
I mean, good for them for making that cash. But yeah, Jesus, the branding thing. What a disaster. A bunch of people mentioned, hopefully it's optical audio out. And it probably is just because, as somebody else mentioned, it kind of could replace Chromecast audio. Because Chromecast audio allows you to turn any speaker you set you had into a castable target. So it only makes sense now, since that didn't have Assistant on board, for them to allow that. Like Amazon has a product that you can connect to a speaker that has Alexa in it and connects to speakers, so it smarts it. So it would only make sense that the Mini maybe doubles as that if they have the internal space to do that. So you have an Assistant, hooks up to a speaker set, then it turns your whole whatever stereo system, if you want, into a smart speaker system. They should do that. My guess is that probably is what they are doing, but we just don't have confirmation at this time. So in related news this week, Nest and Google like fully combined in a sense. You can now migrate your Nest account to a Google account. A little bit of background: you guys know Google owns Nest, and at I/O they said we're gonna merge the two further. They created this Google Nest brand, and that also means that Nest accounts can migrate to being Google accounts, so that when you go into your Nest app, for example, you can log in with a Google account instead of a separate Nest account, trying to create this whole one thing together. So you can do that now. Should you do it? Kind of up to you. If you do it, it cuts off any of your Works with Nest program stuff, and that means like you may have to re-enable some integrations, and the new integration will be Works with Google Assistant. So there's some issues there. So if you have like a really complex Google Home or Google Nest setup, you may just want to do a little bit of research to see if anything's not going to work after that migration. Because once you migrate, you can't go back to your Nest account. You are a Google account. They have a lengthy FAQ. We have a whole post up on it if you need more information. I did it, and it was pretty easy to do. I don't have a super complex integration with a bunch of random like out there smart home products that wouldn't work. Like I basically have Nest products, and like I have some Arlo cameras and some Philips Hue lights, and all of those things work still. So if you have anything beyond that, I don't really know. You kind of just have to do the research there, because once you migrate, kind of a pain. In huge Hangouts news, actually it's not really huge, but we love talking about Google Hangouts. So Google Hangouts, we know it'll die someday, the classic Hangouts, I should say, and it could be replaced with Hangouts Chat, which is like the business enterprise version of Hangouts. Google told us previously that by October of this year, they were going to start telling people like, hey, it's time to move over to Hangouts Chat if you are a G Suite customer, which is their business customers. So like Droid Life, we use G Suite products. We could potentially migrate over to Hangouts Chat. And October is when they wanted everyone to really do that. Now they're postponing till at least June 2020. So they extended it months and months and months, and it could extend further. The only way that relates back to everyone else is if you were thinking Classic Hangouts was going to die when they started moving G Suite people over, you probably have even longer. So if you're still using Classic Hangouts, you probably got like a year still to keep using it, at least, possibly longer. Huge news. I really wish they would let us into chat though. Like I've been trying to get into the early Hangouts chat program in G Suite for months, and they won't let us in because I just want like you and I to use it to see if it actually is any good. But the only problem is we're trying to opt in so that we can use it to talk to external people. Because like my wife, I talk to her through my Droid Life Hangouts account, not my personal one. And there's some other people too that I talk to through that. And so I can't switch to chat until they allow that external communication. And right now they're not letting that. So I'm trying, but they're not. So we'll let you know one day if they do and if chat's actually good or not. Like it does some cool things. It still doesn't do everything though that regular Hangouts does. It's kind of a disaster. I actually wonder if Google is postponing all this because they're just not ready. Like they're just
kind of seems like that.
Yeah, it kind of seems like they're not quite ready. And so they're like, yeah, we were listening to feedback.
Oh, sure.
I mean, like Google doesn't listen to feedback that often, I feel like. Like they kill products we all love and then we complain and they go, sorry. But like with Hangouts, they're like, yeah, guys, we really listened to you. Sure you did.
Yay.
All right, final topic. I don't want to talk very long on this, but there's a blue-green bubble thing. You know, the iMessage thing?
Yeah.
And it apparently like blew up further in the last week. I feel like I swear I've seen 4 articles in the last week of people talking about how if you're an Android user and you're a green bubble in their iMessage group chats, that you're an awful person that they don't care about. So Samsung released a bunch of weird GIFs this week that are supposed to allow you to combat iPhone green blue bubble people, and they are some of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And I could rant on and on about how stupid people are for the bubble thing, but what I really want to get to is has anyone ever said to you, oh Tim, you're a green bubble, you're an Android user? Has anyone ever said that to you? Because no one's ever said that to me.
No one has ever said that to me, probably because I don't associate with iOS people.
I was gonna kind of say the same thing. I feel like
I don't really know many iPhone owners.
See, I don't really either, and I know that we're probably
the minority.
Yeah, for sure, right? Because every kid in high school has to have an iPhone, or they're like shunned, I believe.
Probably.
But yeah, my entire family, they all have Android phones, which makes sense because I've been an Android guy for like 10 years now, so I get that. But like even some of my family that do have iPhones, like I took a trip to Austin this past summer. And some of my family members there, actually most of them outside of like my immediate family members, like they had iPhones. We had a group chat, and every once in a while you get this notification says like this person hearted that, you know, because I think in iMessage you can like heart things and like things and stuff like that. And so I'd get these weird texts that would tell me that.
Like, yep, same.
But none of them said to me like, oh, you're a green bubble. And maybe it's because they know who I am. And like in terms of I'm an Android guy, and so they don't really want to go down that road. But yeah, I've never had that happen. And, you know, most of the people I know use Android phones, but it's a very weird thing. It's actually really sad, but
I think, this is done on purpose by Apple, right?
For sure, I think.
Yeah. I mean, why not? This is a psychology thing. And it makes sense on Apple's part. It just sucks because if you're the kid at high school who's got the green bubble and yes, being shunned at that age, it's got to be hard, man. So Probably someone who's, got the hair that's going like that, shops at the
With the hood
Topic.
up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it sucks, man. I was that kid. I mean, I remember when I got my first phone, it was just like one of a Nokia brick, but everyone already had like flip phones with color screens, and I was a freaking loser, dude.
Yeah, that's the only thing that really pisses me off, I think, is that there are kids out there who just either can't afford maybe an iPhone, they have a cheap Android phone, or maybe they actually want an Android phone because they realize they're cool too. And then, yeah, like their stupid ass friends are like, like that pisses me off. Like, I know teenage kids are teenage kids, and I was a little prick too, but like,
you were.
God, that pisses me off. As an old man now, that pisses me off. So anyway, I don't really want to go too deep in there, but Samsung did release some really weird gifts that you should check out.
I think they're awesome.
I think they're pretty great too, in like a weird way. Like I wrote a little post where I think like whoever made those like knew that we would look at them as being super weird, and like you use them knowing that you're just like being a weirdo. Like, you don't use those going like, ha ha, got you with this one. Like, no one's
sucker.
Yeah, no one's like seriously throwing the like flexing green bubble out going, yeah, got you, buddy. Like, you know that like you're just being like,
well, you're being the green bubble. Like, you're being exactly what they're making fun of you for.
Yeah.
Like, you're different. And people don't like different. But we embrace different.
We do.
So you are always welcome here because we're different too.
That is correct. All right, that's all I got for topics. Should we do?
Yeah, man, let's do it. So let's give everyone, especially Larry Mitchell, time to refresh his chat. We don't want him 20 minutes later.
Larry, catch up.
Yeah, Larry, make sure you're live.
Oh, look, he knows.
Oh, hey,
Larry's got the real good connection today. All right, Larry. All right, lights are on. Trivia danced it up. All right, so if you're new around here, it's trivia time. Again, at the end of every DL show, we do trivia. We have 5 questions, and we give away 5 prizes. 5 different people. You can only win once per show. We put a question up. Tim reads it. You hit the chat in YouTube live. If you're not listening live, I'm sorry. You already missed it. But if you are live with us, you just type out the answer as fast as you can. And if you are the first to answer correctly on our screen, we will call out your name, and you win. Eric, already in the driveway. I see you.
What up, Eric?
I see you. So what we have for prizes this week are sort of a choose your OnePlus prize. We're doing like basically up to $100 in OnePlus prizes per person. So earbuds, like the new Bullets Wireless 2, they're $99. The new backpack that we gave away a couple weeks ago, also $99. So we'll kind of let you choose. Do you want a backpack? Do you want buds? That's kind of where we're going with. So if you win, you tell us. Because we know not everyone owns a OnePlus phone, so we're not going to like give away a bunch of OnePlus cases, but those things are kind of general use, everyone. So, choose from one of those two. Nice Bullets Wireless 2 or a backpack.
Nice. There is no theme. Sarah was asking if there's a theme this week. No theme, just standard Android knowledge.
Correct. Oh, by the way, Alex with the $2 dono a while ago. Alex, we saw the $2. Sorry, I forgot to call you out. Appreciate that.
Sorry about that, Alex. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about Nest Minis or something.
We're talking about something.
Yeah.
Appreciate the dono.
All right. I'm ready. Question number 1.
Question number 1 is up now.
What was the dessert associated with Android 4.4? Mm-hmm. Again, what was the dessert associated with Android 4.4? Sarah Washington with the super quick correct answer of Kit Kat.
We had a lot of Kit Kat. How did you people know that? What the hell?
Everyone loves Android 4.4.
Apparently. Sarah Washington with the super quick Kit Kat.
Man, I think that's back-to-back wins for Sarah Washington. Congratulations.
Might be. Yeah, because question 5, I think, last week, and then question 1 today.
Nice.
Crazy. Kit Kat.
She's on fire! Okay. Question number 2, please.
That was quick. All right, question number 2 is up now.
What year did Google launch Hangouts? Again, what year did Google launch Hangouts?
Crazy how old this is.
Yeah. So I'm seeing the correct answer from Scott McDonald of 2013.
got that as well. Scott McDonald 2013. Had some 2012s early on, and
Saw
then
a lot
McDonald with the 2013.
Yeah. Let me look. Is Larry Mitchell getting his answers in?
Maybe Larry just didn't know the first couple, you know?
That's totally, it's cool. I just want to make sure that he's with it. He's trying, man. All right. Let's go with congratulations, Scott McDonald. Let's go with question number 3, please.
We're just busting right through these. This is
Yeah,
like
we
the
are.
quickest trivia ever. All right, question number 3 is up now.
This is an easy one. What is the official name of the Android mascot? Again, what is the official name of the Android mascot?
Andy. It's Andy, Tim.
It's Andy, yes. Oh no, Curtis said Andy.
Oh no.
Sarah's already a winner. We got Eric Ortiz.
Eric Ortiz, Bug Droid.
Bug Droid. Congratulations, Eric. This guy wins.
It
He's
is
a
not.
winner.
It is not Andy, by the way.
It ain't Andy.
That was a joke. It's Bug Droid.
Bug Droid.
Internally, the early Android team referred to the Android robot as Bug Droid. It took a couple years before we knew that, actually, because everyone was just like, "Oh, it's Andy the Android." Like we all called it that. And then I can't remember what it was. It might have been a Google I/O, one of the early ones. It was something, and one of the lead developers goes, we call it Bug Droid,"
which is like, I don't think it's a great name. I think Andy is like better, but
it's nicer. But Bug Droid, because he looks like a bug, and he's like, I get why he's Bug Droid, but
yeah, I get it. But
yeah, a lot of people, including us, we all called it Andy, and then we got corrected a couple years into this whole thing, and it's Bug Droid.
So next one, it could be seen as hard, but I don't think it's all too hard. Let's go with question number 4, please.
Question number 4 is up now.
In 2013, Google acquired a major GPS navigation software app. What's the name of that app? And again, in 2013, Google acquired a major GPS. I've already seen the correct answer from Jackson Neatert. The correct answer is Waze. Nice. Everyone knows Waze. All right, so it's not that difficult. Okay.
The difficult part was just how long the question was, but everyone knew.
The difficult part is coming up with new questions every week.
This is true.
That's the difficult part. Jackson, congratulations. He's a winner.
Curtis, you were right behind him, like probably a half second behind him, but on our screen, Jackson was first.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone was super close on that.
It was quick. Yep.
Oh, Brandon Fisher having a rough time with his keyboard. Poor guy. Okay.
Brandon Fisher's won like 25 prizes.
Yeah, he's okay. Let's go with last final question number 5, please.
Question number 5 is up now.
Continuously delayed. What's the name of Huawei's foldable phone? Again, continuously delayed. What's the name of Huawei's foldable phone? I'm looking for the whole thing. Max Weisberger. I'm gotta go with the German pronunciation. Max Weisberger. With the correct answer of Mate X or Weisberger. I'm going definitely German on this. With the correct answer, Mate X. Congratulations, Max.
Yeah, there is. Keith had just an X in there, but we kind of want the full name. And
kind of had to get the whole,
And Austin, you spelled it May-X, which, I mean, I know where you're going there, but...
Totally, but...
Max, Mate-X.
Mate-X.
X. Does the Mate-X excite you at all? I think after the folds debacle and like the outer folding screen, which is I'm assuming the screen on that thing is just as soft as the one in the fold, and so if you're folding it out, like I cannot imagine how much damage that thing's going to take in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'd cut back on that. The foldables in general. I know that you're probably going to get the Galaxy Fold and stuff, but I'm going to clown anybody who drops $2,000 on this phone. Like, that's a bad idea.
Work purposes only. Otherwise, there's no way in hell I would consider it or tell anyone to, knowing what we know about it.
Totally. I understand. Oh, so winners. You were going to be emailing Kellen.
Email me.
Yeah.
Are you typing my email out, or do I need to?
Yeah, I could do that for you.
It sounds like you're typing. So you do it?
Yeah. Is it Kellix or Kellen?
Both.
It's both, right?
Both work.
I'm doing Kellix.
Oh, the old school.
So there's the email that you're going to want to email.
Email me.
Email the email.
And then tell me, do you want Bullets Wireless 2 or do you want, what's the new backpack called? Do you remember?
Frontier?
Nah.
Explorer?
Nah. Maybe? I'm looking right now. Looking. Oh, yeah, the Explorer backpack.
Yeah.
So let me know in your email, winners, if you want Bullets Wireless 2 or the backpack. The Explorer backpack. One of the two. Just let me know.
Heck yeah.
And if you happen to be a OnePlus 7 owner and there's something else you want, you could shout that out too. But to make it easy, the backpack or Bullets Wireless would probably be the best. Sarah watching with $2 dono. The Aki True Wireless Buds sound extremely fine. That's right, because we gave those away last week.
Yeah.
I love it that earbuds like that are
packages
so affordable now. Like you can get true wireless buds for like and I'm telling you, like the difference between $40 wireless buds and like $200, I can't imagine there's that much different. There's only so much room in there. It's probably all like digital algorithms or something.
Yeah, I really think the only true difference is going to be maybe on the software experience side, right? Like the Galaxy Buds has just deep integration. Like with the Samsung phones, there's just more stuff you can do. But the sound quality is probably all going to be pretty darn close.
The Galaxy Buds do sound all right, though. I actually don't mind the sound on those.
They sound okay.
Because I have
still just
Anchors.
That annoys.
I have Anchor and Mobvoi's AirPod knockoffs, and neither sound great, and neither are comfortable either. The Galaxy Buds sound better than both of those. I have not tried Aki's though. Tavares says, when's the next Q&A? We might do a Q&A on Monday. It has been a while. Maybe we'll do that Monday. Maybe we'll do a Q&A Monday.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone that won, email me and tell me what you want. Bullets Wireless 2, Explorer backpack. It is up to you. Skull Candy is good.
Yeah, everything is good except for Skull Candy. Every Skull Candy product I've ever used has always like not been good.
Have we ever told the early CES story? It was like the first or second CES we were at, and Tim and I are walking around. It's like an early morning, and we stop at the Skull Candy booth because there's two booth girls out front that are like, come in and win free earbuds. And we're like, sure, what do we have to do? And they're like, well, you just have to do a sound test and you have to tell us like which one is better, and we're not going to tell you which buds they are. And Tim, because he's an audio guy, screws with them and knows which one's which, and like purposely tells them that the non-Skull Candies are better. And they're like, wait, what? Because they had like tweaked what they were doing to purposely make the Skull Candy sound better. And so Tim screwed with them, and it was really funny. I can't remember if they got mad or not, but like they were certainly frustrated with Tim.
I think they were good sports, but
yeah,
I was definitely like, nah, Skull Candies sound tinny or something like they don't sound very good.
It was so funny.
Yeah, that was brutal. Poor girls. It's got to be tough being a booth babe.
Yeah,
got to be tough,
especially when the audio guy shows up to screw with you.
Yeah,
pretty good though.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah. All right, so next week, look for a Note 10 Plus review. We'll probably, I don't know if we'll do another show next. We'll try to do another show. We'll see. I still haven't reviewed that Fossil watch, which I told you guys I would do this week. Probably will do that. More Note 10 stuff. We'll have tips and tricks. S Pen tips and tricks. Speaking of that, as I was going through the lengthy setup process of Samsung phones to turn everything off, I feel like this phone, I don't know if it's like missing features, but I don't feel like there's as much stuff to like play with. Like you went through the first 10 things video. Did you like, I used to feel like you'd go through all these different settings and toggle all this stuff and mess with all this stuff, but I kind of ended up just in advanced features, and I didn't feel like the advanced feature list has grown, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I don't know, like something felt like there wasn't a bunch of new stuff to play with. Like the OS is just kind of sitting in the same place.
Yeah, I guess I kind of feel that way. I mean, I still feel like there's a ton of different things that you got to get through.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how to like perfectly explain that, because I turned off and like I said, it took me a while to just like make everything look and feel the way I wanted this phone to. But then when I went back through and was like, what's some new cool stuff to play with, I couldn't find anything new. So maybe that's just because it's, we're waiting for the next version of One UI or whatever. But
Well, that's because you got the lame, the small. I mean, I've got like 3D video stuff that I can do. I can do a whole lot of cool
That's
stuff.
true. I don't have any of the cool stuff.
Yeah,
I can't
you
even
don't
put
have.
an SD card in this thing.
Yeah, you don't have TOF camera.
The TOF.
You don't have 12 gig RAM. I mean, I don't even know, dude.
I don't. How much RAM do I have? 8?
8.
How am I gonna get by with that?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Pixel phones. I just imagine performance on Pixel phones. It's got to be the worst thing ever, right? Only
Totally
4
the worst
gigs
thing
of
ever.
RAM?
Only 4 cannot handle it. Bloated ass Android. Come on, Google. 6 gigs not even gonna be enough. Google.
Yeah, you got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, as Matthew McConaughey would say. I love Matthew McConaughey.
6 is not enough. McDonald, it is 2. It'll be fine. Solely. We need an extra 2 gig just for Solely.
Excellent.
8 gig on a Samsung Phone Rip. I got nothing else. There's not even sports to talk about to wrap the show up. There's not.
Preseason football sucks.
I mean, at this point in my life, I don't even watch NFL, so I don't even have anything to offer there.
It's not even about the sport. It's like about the political statement everyone's making.
I'm so sick of all that crap. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring back the XFL.
It exists, doesn't it? Or did they already close it again? There was another like football league that I thought already folded. I can't remember what it was. The American Football League. What was the one that somebody's got to know this? Like there was actually another league that was just running and it already folded.
Apparently XFL is coming back.
XFL, I believe, is coming back. But there was another one like last year and it just like went bankrupt all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. We got Galaxy Fold next month. Pixel 4 following that. Android 10 soon. Everyone's saying the AAFL. Okay. Yeah.
Alliance of American Football.
What a weird name. Yeah, it folded. Like it barely got started and then the owners were like, yeah, we don't want to do this anymore. Very weird. But there was pros in it. Yeah.
Pros.
All right, that's all I got. Anything else? Final words?
No. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Stay sober. All that.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. DL Show 211. Have a safe weekend.
Peace.